Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is the long overdue review for Battlefield 6, man, but I wanted to get the platinum trophy, which I popped it today, man. And it was a journey, man, and I'm gonna be honest, I really did enjoy Battlefield all around, man. So let's get into it, but real quick before we do, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell. If you've been sticking around, I appreciate the support, man. YouTube has absolutely butchered the algorithm. You see bigger YouTubers complaining about it all the time, and this is a smaller channel, man, so imagine how the smaller guys feel when literally none of our content is being pushed in the algorithm. It's definitely frustrating, but I do this for the passion of gaming, so hopefully everyone appreciate this. But anyway, man, if you appreciate non-sponsored BS reviews where people tiptoe the line, man, this is your place to come. With that being said, man, let's get into the review for Battlefield 6, guys, and I'm gonna be honest, I absolutely loved it. We'll go through the quickest thing to talk about, which is really the campaign. And I'm gonna be honest, guys, I'm probably alone on this, right? But I actually enjoyed the campaign. I did not hate it. I know a lot of people said it was mid, a lot of people didn't like it, and I completely understand. But I'm the same guy that enjoy Call of Duty Vanguard campaign. When it comes to Call of Duty and Battlefield campaigns, I don't really look for much, especially over the last decade or two, you know what I'm saying? And I am happy they brought some form of campaign back, especially after 2042 not having any campaign at all, because people like me really appreciate the extra content, especially when you charging $70 out here for your shooter. At least you can do is throw me a campaign, whether I like it or not. At least it's there. And I also like you get collectibles here, and the collectibles actually mean something because it carries over to multiplayer, which you unlock certain skins and stuff like that. And I wanted to do that anyway because it was a skin for my medic. Just a heads up, I'm main medic. I live and die for support in Battlefield. I will risk my life to pick up 2-3 people if I can, even one person, man. Never bigger than the program is how I look at it. But the campaign, when it comes to Battlefield and Call of Duty, dude, bro, it's the same shit every time. It's some shooty shit, a bunch of explosions, a bunch of set pieces, and I think this game does it really well. I like the added layer of destruction within this campaign versus the usual COD campaign or something like that. I thought it was dope, and I just thought the performances was good too. All around, it was just dope. It didn't overstage welcome or anything like that, but that's not why most people is picking up this game. So let's jump into the multiplayer. Since day one, I have absolutely loved this multiplayer, and it's really the shooter I needed and wanted, man. To get me off of something like Apex. A lot of these shooters been coming and going. The one shooter I can think of this generation that I really like was the Finals, and that's from ex-Battlefield dev, so it got that Battlefield DNA with the destruction. So shout out to Embark, they absolutely killing it with Arc Raiders as well. Stick around for that review, it's coming soon. But I love the multiplayer, man. I think it got a good plethora of modes. I'm not a fan of all the maps. Some of the maps I think is just straight up trash. I do like pretty much all of the modes. I prefer certain modes over others. Like, I really do like Rush. I like Escalation. I like Conquest. I really like all the modes because I feel like as a medic, I really don't have a preference. As long as it's people out there to save and heal and then still catch bodies at the same time. I'm all for that. And, funny enough, for a lot of people, the hardest trophy may be getting the 2000 revives. For me, it was actually getting the 5x5 with assault, because for one, I was forced to play a class I didn't really care about. All the other trophies for the other classes was pretty simple. The 2000 plus revives for me wasn't a problem because, well, I don't think it's 2000, right under 2000, but that wasn't a problem because I got that trophy within like a day or two of it being out. Like I said, I live for support, but the assault class, I had to force myself. You got to get 5 kills in a quick succession 5 times. So that was probably the most difficult trophy for me. Everything else was just, you take your time, you chop it down, and, the platinum came to me. I didn't really have to chase it too much. But back to the multiplayer, I'm really enjoying it. The latest update, season 1 with the black, the fields, the oil fields. I mean, it's a really dope map. I was left a lot to be desired, but overall, I'm a fan of the multiplayer, man. I really don't got too many complaints. Now, you will deal with the usual stuff. You'll come across people that's cheating. This game can be a goddamn shooting at the ground simulator because everybody wants to lay down and play like puss cakes and you know, the typical weird stuff. Thankfully, I don't see too much of that COD shit as far as jumping off the wall. You can tell when you run into a COD player as a Battlefield player, but I'm gonna be honest, no cocky shit. I usually lay the fucking, like, COD players, I lay them the fuck down. In Call of Duty and Battlefield, I'm not a fan of all that jumping, super fast, twitchy movement like you're a god just to get smoked by somebody that's on a PS5 Pro or a Series S or some shit like that, right? So I've really enjoyed the multiplayer, man. You know, it really depends on your team. It's definitely better with friends when you got an actual squad that care about you as much as you care about them. Because, man, being a medic fucking hurts, you know, going super hard in these medic streets, and then sometimes getting nothing for it. As far as, you know, I get knocked and now I got 3-4 medics running past me, or, you know, my teammates don't give a damn about me even though I done res them 50 times. Yeah, sorry for that little rant, but I think the game is really fun, man. I like all the classes. I do like how they did the weapons, where like no weapon is locked to a class, but you get better proficiency and upgrade, you know, certain guns quicker. Like, you know, for me with support, if I'm using an LMG, I'm gonna level up that LMG quicker. So when it comes to things like that, I really did appreciate it. I am a fan of that. So all around, I really did enjoy the multiplayer, man. I thought it was great. I don't got too many complaints about the progression or the assignments for the class. I think I'm 20 V-Vives away, and I got to do 2,000 damage with the fire grenade launcher thing with the medic, and then I'm good. Then I got the medic class assignment maxed out. So you know, I really take pride in that. To me, that kind of is gonna feel a little more impactful to me just as a Battlefield medic than, you know, actually getting a platinum for the game. So, you know, I really enjoy the multiplayer aspect of Battlefield. I think it's really well done. 10 million sales recently, man, very deservingly so. I think it got legs and to go head up with Call of Duty. So, you know, Call of Duty is still a behemoth, so we'll see how that goes down in the long run. But it is really nice to have Battlefield back out here. They learned from the mistakes of 2042, I think, because I really wanted to love 2042, man, but it just didn't hit. You know, it wasn't a Battlefield game in any other sense other than the name. I did like the weather. I did like some of the maps on there too. You know, the tornadoes and storms was really dope, man. But that's all that Battlefield 2042 had going for it, in my humble opinion. But Battlefield 6 is just a great game, man. It's very fun. I love it. It's not perfect, so don't come to this review just because I love it and be like, oh, you're just glazing. No, it has problems. Like I said, you can run into the occasional cheaters. You can cut off crossplay, but you might get put in with some bots. Sometimes the community can be split, so you might have people on some modes and it might take longer to get into games and stuff like that. But, you know, I'm liking what's going on. Day one, it wasn't a whole bunch of predatory monetization in the stores, you know. But, you know, with the latest season 1, you know, it does seem like they kind of, you know, filled up that store and microtransaction quick. But truth be told, I'm kind of okay with all this stuff they give me for free with earning it through the game. So I'm not really too pressed to get the Battlefield Battle Pass right away or anything like that. But it is some dope things in there, in my humble opinion. Now, the last thing we got to talk about is the elephant in the room that stand out like a sore thumb, and it's the Red Sec Battle Royale. That's pretty much Battlefield version of Warzone, and this is a hot take probably for some people, but for me, I kind of prefer this Battle Royale. For one, I'm kind of over BRs, truth be told. I prefer the multiplayer of Battlefield 6, let's make that clear first and foremost, but I do appreciate the option of it being there if I want to, you know, jump into with some of the homies who didn't buy the base game and just want to, you know, get into the free-to-play Battle Royale. I think it's dope. The reason I prefer it more than Warzone, just feels like the flow of the game just feels different, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the added layer of destruction that I really gravitate towards as well. You know, the amount of times in Warzone I couldn't blow up a fence to just get to where I'm going, and I had to go all the way around and find the exit, is really goddamn annoying. So the extra level of destruction in this game is really fun. Guys, I really enjoyed Battlefield, man. I had fun getting this platinum. I highly recommend it, man, especially with the holidays coming up and even next year. Whenever you're watching this, if you catch it on sale, hopefully the community is still thriving. Hopefully EA does right by this game, because we know they don't do right by a lot. But it's been your boy NextGenNero. I appreciate everybody rocking with me. Hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.